Hello, hello. So today we are making this gorgeous mini skirt with a little slit on the side. So let's get started. What you will need is a tape measure, a pair of scissors, a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, a darning needle, and at least one stitch marker on hand. You will also need some category 4 weight yarn. This yarn, I will put it in the can I talk? I will put it in the description below. This is the same yarn I used for the Valentine's Day bralette and shorts. So it's Super Saver yarn in the color, I believe this is cherry red. Yes, in the color cherry red. And this is about, well, it is exactly 744 yards. I only ended up needing about 450 yards for a size large to extra large. I rolled some into a ball just in case I have to carry it with me. Yeah, so let's get started. While I clean up my space, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's a free way to support my channel. We're gonna make our band first. So if you're using the same yarn, it's a category 4 weight yarn. So if you're using the same yarn and hook size as me, you can just go along with the amount of stitches that I make. My bottom is a large, extra large. So if you're that size, you can just crochet along with me. If you need to adjust the size, you can take measurements. So the length of the waistband is pretty much universal. It's the width of the waistband that you will need to measure, and you will just need to measure your waist. For starters, we're going to make a chain of 13, and that will give you a 3.5 inch in length waistband. If you want if you want your waistband shorter than that, go ahead and measure out the length that you want and chain accordingly. So we're gonna make 13 stitches. Once you have 13 stitches, chain 1, turn your work and go into the back notch of your stitches, skipping the first chain, the second chain from the hook, and we're gonna make single crochets down that chain. Okay, now that I have my 13 stitches, I'm gonna chain 1, chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to do single crochets in the back loops only from here on out. So for me, I need my band to stretch to approximately 38 inches in length. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna single crochet until you have a band that is comfortable around your waist. You can eyeball it as far as that goes. You can just crochet and try it on you until it fits you how you like it. Or you can measure your waist and just crochet until you have your measurements met. But either way, crochet your band until you get the desired length. Single crochets in the back loop only. Continue making your band to your desired length and meet me back here once you're done. When you have your waistband done, we're gonna go ahead and sew up the seam. You can do that however you like, whatever sewing method you like to use. I just like to single crochet my seam closed by going into the front loop of the front loop of the stitches closest to you and the back loop of the stitches furthest away. And you will have something that looks like this, and that will just look like regular rib. You won't even be able to tell it's a seam. All right, once you have your seam closed, you're gonna go around the edge and make single crochets in every side stitch. Right now we're going to put one single crochet in each side stitch all the way around. Make sure you're not doing your single crochets too tight because this has to stretch and go over your hips. Now we're gonna start making our actual skirt. So to begin, we need to make the upper part of the skirt the length between our waistband and our hips because our hip is the widest part. So we're gonna, for me, depending on how tall you are, I'm a shorty, I'm only 5'1". So for me, the length between this waistband and my hip is about 3 inches, 3.5 inches. You can go ahead and take your measurements. If you're my height, then girl, you could go ahead and make this 3.5 inches too. If you're taller than me, that's fine because you were blessed with that height. Just go ahead and measure. You might need a little more, or you can actually just do it to your liking. So for me, my waistband to hip measurement is 3 inches. So I'm just gonna crochet in the round evenly for 3 inches. Let's start doing that. For starters, we are going to chain 2. So I chain 2. This does not count as a stitch. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a half double crochet. And I'm gonna put my stitch marker in that first stitch because I do get, look at that, I put it in the wrong stitch already. So I do add stitches to my row when I crochet in the round. That is just something, that's a bad habit that I have. So if you have that bad habit like me, go ahead and place a stitch marker in your first stitch. Remember, this is the chain 2, and then your first stitch is here for your half double crochet, and we're gonna make half double crochets all the way around, and we're just gonna do that for 3.5 inches. So go ahead and do your half double crochets all the way around. We're at row 6.
So for row 6, we're going to start our increases. How we do our increases is that you need to count up all of your stitches on your row. Once you have all of your stitches counted, you will have to divide that number by 10. For example, if you count up 80 stitches, then you would divide that by 10, which is 8. So you would work your increase every 8th stitch. If you have a number like 72, you would round down to the nearest tenth. And if you have a number like 75, you would round up to the nearest tenth. And that will give you your even number to divide it by 10. For my project, I have 85 stitches, so I'll just round up. All that means is I'm doing an increase every 9 stitches.
Just gonna chain up 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I do my increase. I hope I said increase and not decrease. And then I'll start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Work my increase. Do that all the way around your row, and we'll meet back here at the end. So we're doing row 7 now, and for row 7 you're going to just take away 1 stitch in between your increases. My increases were 9 stitches for the previous row. Now it's going to be every 8 stitches. So 8, and then I'm going to work my increase. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and work my increase on that next stitch. And just do that all the way around. Every 8th stitch, work an increase.
For this row, I'm going to continue doing every 8th stitch an increase.
For my next row, I'm going to do every 7th stitch an increase. And you just continue doing that. Continue doing that until your skirt reaches the top of your hips, and I'll meet you back here. So I increased 3 rows, and now I'm gonna just start working the rows across evenly. I'm not gonna do any more increases. So just go ahead and make half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. Do that until your skirt measures to your thigh, or the length that you find the most comfortable for you. I'm gonna work my skirt to thigh length, about mid-thigh. When your skirt measures mid-thigh, we're gonna stop, and we'll come back here for the next step. From row 9 to row 24, I just did half double crochet in each stitch around until my skirt measured where I would like the split to start on my thigh. I completed the row. I completed row 24, and I tried the skirt on. It fits perfectly. So I place the stitch marker where I want my split to start once I have the skirt on. You can start your split wherever you would like, or if you don't want a split, that's fine too. You don't have to make a split. You can just keep going in the round until your skirt is at the length you would like it to be. To get my split to start where I want it, I'm gonna have to cut my yarn and reattach it. So make sure that your skirt is at a length that you like, and you don't have to go back and do any editing. Okay, so I have to reattach my yarn here.
I'm attaching my yarn one stitch away from where I have my stitch marker.
And then I'm gonna do a half double crochet in each stitch until I come around to the other side. Also, when you are making your when you're reattaching your skirt, when you're reattaching your yarn to your skirt, you want to make sure to continue in the direction that your stitches were going when you first started your skirt, because otherwise you will change the pattern. You will get the wrong side of the pattern instead of the right side. So go ahead, make half double crochets along the row, and meet me back where you've placed your stitch marker. If you chose not to place a stitch marker so that you don't have a split, that's fine. Just keep going in the round until your skirt is your desired length. I'm at my stitch marker, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make one half double crochet into that stitch. Chain one, and then I'm just gonna turn my work and work that back around the opposite direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the stitch marker up to the first stitch on the row. So you wanna go ahead and repeat these steps. Once you reach the other side here, you're gonna turn your work and come back around. And once you do that, you're gonna keep repeating those steps until your skirt is at a length that you like. Go ahead and go all the way around, and we'll meet back here at the other end of our split.
I started my next row and I thought I was recording, but I was not recording. Just doing that row the same way I did the previous one. I chained up one and did half double crochets into each stitch. And I'm doing that all the way around until I reach my other stitch marker. Go ahead and do your half double crochets along your entire row, and we'll meet back up at our stitch marker. I'm back at my stitch marker and starting my next row. On this row, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the previous rows. I'm just going to chain up one, turn my work, and do a half double crochet all the way around. Repeat those rows until your skirt reaches a length you're comfortable with.
I just completed the last row of my skirt. Well, I'm about to complete it. I wanted to show you what I do once I finish off the row. So I put half double crochet there, excuse me. And now I'm gonna go around and add one crochet in each side stitch here. So you want to do 2 single crochets to create that corner there, so you can turn. And then just go ahead and put 1 single crochet in each side stitch there. And what that does is it just cleans up your work so that edge is not all rickety like that.
once you finish your split, your skirt is done. Cut your end and then try on your skirt. Hopefully you've been trying it on this whole time anyway. I've been trying mine on, and I think I could have started the slit a little higher, but I wasn't trying it on in the mirror. I was just trying it on to see if it fit me. So make sure you're trying your skirt on in the mirror. You can start your slit higher. You can keep going with the skirt so that it's actually like ankle length, like a maxi skirt, and then you just have your slit. Oh, that would be so sexy, girl. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video.